I've unfortunately been deep into the self help world and have read many of its books. And after reading book after book after book, you start to notice that after a while, all of the books have an extremely similar layout with very little variation. Like, the first chapter will be pretty good. It will tell you the premise of the book, the main idea that's to come, like what's so great about it, and that'll be the first chapter. And then the next chapter will be an anecdote and it will elaborate more on the main point. And then the next chapter will be another anecdote elaborating on a point. And then the next chapter will be an anecdote elaborating on a point. And maybe if you're lucky, it'll have a sprinkle or two of a study to elaborate on why the main idea is so great. It's kind of like when you open a bag of chips for the first time and you think it's going to be full of chips, but more than 50% of the bag is just air. That's what a self help book is like. And then the last chapter actually has something useful in it, just like the first chapter did. And for the most part, these self help books, it's like 90% a truckload of anecdotes, filler, and something that's not substantial. And then the other 10% is a summary or rehashing of what the main point was, or just elaborating on what the book was about. Not to mention that many of these self help books, too many, in my experience, talk about similar topics and then they'll change some things, regurgitate the same information, and then they'll present it as if that regurgitated information with slight variations is something entirely different. That's another thing I've noticed that I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but after reading enough of the books, you just start to notice this strange pattern where everything is the same thing. Like, there's no originality anymore. At least for me, that's what I noticed. And I have read non-stop self-help books for 3 years. I've read them non-stop. And they did help a little bit, but after like seeing so much of the same thing over and over, you get the point that you've gleaned everything that there is to get from them. And that's pretty much it. And I should get going before the self-help gurus accuse me of not being positive enough. Goodbye.